Hey guys, my name's Mate, and in this video, I'm going to show you how we helped a law firm get 6 times more leads from their Google ads without increasing their ad spend and without doing any SEO. So the situation with this business before we started working with them. So they're a law firm and they were running Google ads and sending them to a services page on their website. Now, the website itself was very, very basic. It didn't have a lot of information on it, and there were basically no call to actions or contact details or on any of the pages other than the contact us page. So when people clicked the ad and landed on the website, it was actually very difficult to contact them. The navigation wasn't very easy. It was hard to find information, and the information they did have was very, very basic. And as a result, they were getting rather poor results from all of this. So the page that they were sending the ads to was just a general services page that just listed out their services and only had a brief paragraph description of each service. And so the problem with that is not only was it difficult for people to contact them, but also they couldn't find a lot of information on what exactly they were offering and why they should use this particular law firm. And the thing about this case is that this law firm actually has really, really good reviews on Google. But the problem is if you don't see the Google reviews or you didn't find them through the maps, you wouldn't even know this. So they were missing out on a lot of potential with the way that their ads were structured and the way that the website was done. And as a result, they were getting less than 10 leads a month while spending around $1,200 a month on average in ad spend. Now, our solution to this situation was step one. We wanted to rebuild their entire website, and we did so using WordPress. We kept the original design because they actually had quite a cool looking design that just needed to be expanded upon. So we significantly expanded on the content, and we built out pages for every single one of their services and basically made a landing page out of every one of these services that we could send the ads to. And so that allowed us to specifically target the different topics and keywords that we wanted to advertise to make them as relevant as possible and increase the likelihood that people would actually contact them. Because by doing that, what happens is you give people exactly what they were looking for, send them straight to the page with the information on the topic they want, and don't distract them with anything else. And that increases the conversion rate significantly, which means you get more people contacting you without having to actually pay more for more clicks. So what we did is we wrote out all the content for these pages to show exactly what this firm was offering, why they're a better option than all the other law firms that offer similar services, what they do differently, or the different practice areas of law that they can help with, especially within a particular thing, like let's say family law, or the different areas of family law they can cover. We went into detail about that and exactly what they did, which basically just showed people who clicked the ad and landed on the website exactly how this firm could help them and position them as the best option they had to solving their legal problems. So that encouraged the people to actually get in contact with the firm and pre-sold them on becoming a client, before they've even spoken to them. So we also set up tracking in Google Analytics so that we could track exactly how many phone calls, form submits, and emails they got through the ad. So this now allowed us to get an accurate picture of what kind of results we were actually getting from the ads, how much it costed to get a lead and things like that, so that we could optimize from there. Now, step two was to actually set up the Google Ads campaign. So this involved identifying the different practice areas that they were advertising for and finding which ones were in demand and more likely to convert into cases for their firms. So you'll find when you run ads that some services just do better than others because they're more in demand, or the type of customer or client that searches for that particular service is just better or more likely to convert. So we had to do a bit of experimentation in this case to find out which one really worked. And what we did is we actually identified one practice area of law that they weren't specifically focusing on previously, but they decided to go into because it was in high demand and growing. And then what we did is we set up campaigns, ad groups, and ads that focused on the specific high buying intent keywords, which are most likely to get them clients and immediate return on investment. Because you have various different keywords that are some more likely to actually convert and others who are not. So for instance, somebody searching what is family law is less likely to actually need a family lawyer. They could just be looking around for information. They're on a different stage of the buying cycle, so they're less likely to contact you versus somebody searching, let's say, family lawyer near me. That's a much higher likely, candidate to actually need a lawyer and contact you. So by focusing on these specific keywords that are known as high buying intent, you find that more of the people who you pay to click the ad will actually contact you, and that's how you get a much lower cost per lead and a lot more leads without spending any more money. Now, what we also did is ensure that all the ads were sending the people to the appropriate landing page for that particular topic so that it matched the ad content and the keyword. So, property lawyer would go to a property law page, family law would go to a family law page, and so on. And you always want to make sure you do this when running Google Ads, because it ensures that the person is finding the specific topic and the specific information they're actually looking for. And that cuts down a huge amount of wasted ad spend, because most people make the mistake of sending people to the homepage. And that's a very common error. But the problem with that is it makes the people go looking for the information. You're going to lose a lot of them. So sending people to the specific pages makes a huge difference in terms of the results you get, as long as those pages are actually set up correctly. Now, step 3 was ongoing optimization of this Google Ads campaign, which involved observing the different practice areas that we were running the ads for and finding out which ones worked best and which didn't work as well, or which were just too expensive to get leads from and it wasn't worth running the ads. And then we doubled down on the ones that worked really well, and we reduced or eliminated the ad spend in the other ones that didn't. So that's a part of the process. As you run the Google Ads, you got to find what works really well, and you might find that some services are just not really worth it to pay that much for a lead, how much it's costing you. You can usually optimize these to a degree, but sometimes it's just not worth it. You're better off just focusing on the thing that's working really well. The other thing is we went regularly over the search terms report and eliminated unrelated keywords to reduce wasted ad spend. So the search terms report is a free report in Google Ads. It'll actually show you the exact keywords people typed in to find your ads. So by going through this report regularly, you will occasionally find some keyword, depending on your keyword setting, that might not be related to the services that you actually are offering or the products that you're selling. And so by taking those search terms and putting them in the negative keywords list, you eliminate the possibility of your ad showing up for those again, which means you're going to reduce the wasted spend that you would have paid if somebody had clicked on that from a keyword that wasn't actually related to what you were offering. Now, what we also did was pause the ads with the low performance and created variations of the better performing ads. In every ad group, we always run 3 different ad variations, and we do these in a fixed format, similar to how the expanded text ads used to be done. So I made a few videos about how to make ads that are basically expanded text ads, where you can pin the headline 1, 2, and 3 in the respective positions, and description 1 and 2 as well, so that Google doesn't just rotate them as it likes to do, but it's actually forced to show them in the order that you want. So I like doing it that way because it gives me full control over what the ad is actually showing and allows me to test different variations and actually see what's working better, rather than relying on Google to hopefully do it for me. And a lot of times that doesn't work out. So what we do is we run 3 variations all the time. The one that doesn't work as well or is the worst performer, we'll drop that one, pause it, leave the other 2, copy the one that is the best performer, and then make some small variation to the headline or description and see what works best. Run that one for a while, do the same process again. And as you do this continuously over time, you will find that you are optimizing more and more, and so your ads will perform better and better and better. So if you focus on the ones that get the most conversions especially, you're going to find that you're getting much more conversions for less cost over this iteration process. Now, the other thing we did is made updates to the landing pages to increase the conversion rates. And we tested different headlines, different content updates, and added a few new sections on the pages, which just helped to, increase the conversion rate of those pages and get people to be more likely to actually contact them as a result. Now, the end result of all this, when we implemented all of the steps above, you can see here at the beginning in this graph, this is before we started working with them in early 2022. And you can see they were getting a very, very low conversion rate. It was at some points hitting 1 to 2%, maybe less. It was very low. It was around 3% on average. And then you can see here, this is when we started working with them. We managed to actually double the conversion rate straight away, but we wanted to improve this further and thought we could. So we continued optimizing, obviously. And this drop here is just during Christmas break where we paused the ad, so we didn't have anything running. But you can see here that once we optimized from this point, it jumped up significantly and got 6 times higher conversion rate than it did previously. So you can see here that this is literally jumped up from less than 10% to it actually touched 30% and has been hovering above 20% ever since, which means that 1 in 5 people contact them who click their ad, which is actually a very high number in terms of conversion rate. You don't often see conversion rate this high. Now, in terms of actual numbers of leads, you can see here at the beginning, they were getting less than 10 leads. I think March was like 3 leads. It was very low. And that was when they were sending them to the old website before we did anything. And then you can see here, after all this optimization, they're getting more than 50 leads a month. And this is only from the Google ads. This is not doing any other SEO or anything else to get these leads. This is purely just the leads that are coming from these Google ads with the same amount of ad spend. We didn't increase the ad spend. We actually dropped it a little bit. They were spending $1,200 before, and we actually dropped it to about $1,000. So we're actually spending less money, and they're still getting at least 5 times, if not more, leads, and as a result, cases for their firm, simply by optimizing these things, identifying the practice area which was working well, cutting out the ones that weren't, focusing on what works, and optimizing these iterations like I've talked about in this video. So this is an example of what can happen when you really, really get it right. You get the targeting right. You get the actual thing you are offering. You find, a service or a product that's actually in demand. You set up the ads correctly and the entire campaign correctly. You target the correct keywords, and then you make the landing pages well and actually to address the search intent of the people looking for these keywords. And when you do all that correctly, this is an example of the kind of result that you can get. So that's what I wanted to show you in this video. If this is something that you're potentially interested in for your business, our agency helps to get you at least $100,000 to $300,000 more per year in new business, or you don't pay. So if that sounds like something that you could benefit from, you can click the link below this video to book a call with us through our website. And what we'll do is we'll jump on that quick call with you. We'll show you exactly what kind of results we expect to get you. And if we can't, you don't pay us. So if that sounds like something you could be interested in, just hit that link below, book a call with us, and we'll talk then.